Quick disclaimer. This is an educational breakdown of my own trade, not investment advice. I'm not SEBI registered, and nothing here is a recommendation to buy or sell anything. Full disclaimers in the description.
You bought a nifty call option. Price moved 200 points exactly where you predicted. Your option moved 40 rupees. You were right, and you still barely made money. This happens to traders every single day, and it is not bad luck. It is a Greek problem. In this video, I am going to teach you the 4 Greeks you need to understand to stop leaving money on the table. Delta, Theta, Vega, Gamma. By the end, you will know exactly why your option moved what it moved and how to pick the right strike before you even enter. Before we dive in, what are Greeks? Think of them as 4 lenses that explain every move in an option price. Delta tells you how sensitive your option is to the stock price movement. Theta tells you how much time is costing you every single day. Vega tells you how much implied volatility affects your option. And Gamma tells you how fast delta itself is changing. You do not need to memorize formulas. You need to understand what each one is doing to your position, and I will show you that with real numbers. Let us start with delta, the most important Greek. Delta is simply this. For every 1 rupee the underlying moves, how much does your option move? Call options have a delta between 0 and 1. Put options between -1 and 0. And at the money call, right at the current market price, has a delta of approximately 0.5. That means for every 100 rupee move in Nifty, your ATM call moves about 50 rupees. A deep in the money call has delta close to 1. It moves almost rupee for rupee. A far out of the money call has delta close to 0. It barely moves at all. Now you understand exactly why your option did not move when the stock did. Let me make this concrete. Nifty is sitting at 24,000. Here are 4 strikes and their deltas. The 23,500 call, 500 points in the money E has delta 0.75. Every 100-point Nifty move gives you 75 rupees on this option. The 24,000 call, exactly at the money, delta 0.5. A 100-point move gives 50 rupees. The 24,500 call, 500 points out of the money, delta 0.28. Only 28 rupees on the same 100-point move. The 25,000 call, very far out, delta 0.12, 12 rupees, same stock move. 4 completely different outcomes. Write this down. The strike you pick determines how much you participate in the move. So, which delta should you target when buying? Here is the rule I follow, and it matches everything I have seen in practice. Buy options with a delta between 0.3 and 0.4, slightly out of the money. Here is why. As the stock moves in your direction, delta increases. Your option not only moves more, it starts moving faster and faster. You are riding the acceleration. By the time your option reaches delta 0.7 or 0.8, it is moving almost in sync with the stock. That is where maximum percentage gain happens on directional trades. You buy at 30 delta, you exit at 70 to 80 delta. The middle section is where you make your money. Avoid low delta options. They are cheap for a reason. They barely move. Now the enemy of every option buyer, theta. Theta is time decay, the amount your option loses in value every single day, even if the stock does not move at all. Think of it like a melting ice cube. At 30 days to expiry, it melts slowly. At 15 days, it melts faster. In the final week, it is melting right in front of your eyes. This is not random, it is mathematical. Every option has a time value component, and that time value goes to 0 by expiry. The closer you get, the faster it disappears. Theta works against buyers and in favor of sellers. Every day a seller holds a short position, Theta credits their account. Every day a buyer holds, Theta debits theirs. You are not just betting on direction, you are racing against time. Real numbers now. Take a nifty ATM option worth 150 rupees with 30 days to expiry. Theta at this stage is roughly 3 rupees per day. Slow, manageable, move to 15 days to expiry. Same option is now worth 90 rupees. Theta has accelerated to 6 rupees per day. With 7 days left, the option is worth 50 rupees and Theta is 12 rupees a day. In the final 2 days, Theta destroys 25 rupees per day. The option is bleeding out. This is exactly why the rule says, for debit spreads, exit when you enter the third week. Do not hold into expiry week as a buyer. Theta will eat your profit even if the stock cooperates. Time is not your friend, it is the seller's friend. Vega. This one catches traders completely off guard, especially before results and budget days. Vega measures how much your option price changes for every 1% change in implied volatility. If your option has a Vega of 0.15 and implied volatility rises by 10%, your option gains 1 rupee 50, even if the stock has not moved. Sounds good? Here is the trap. Before results, IV spikes. Options become expensive. Everyone buys expecting a big move. Results come out. Even if the move happens, sometimes the option price falls. Why? Because IV collapses immediately after the event. The move was already priced in. This is called IV crush, and it destroys option buyers who enter before events. The rule: check IV percentile before buying. High IVP means options are expensive and Vega risk is elevated. Use a spread to reduce it. The last Greek is gamma. Gamma is the rate of change of delta. If that sounds complex, here is the simple version. Gamma tells you how fast your delta is changing as the stock moves. At the money options have the highest gamma. Deep in the money and far out of the money options have low gamma. Here is why this matters in practice. Near expiry, with a stock sitting at the money, gamma is extremely high. A small 50-point move can push your delta from zero point 0.5 to zero point 0.8 almost instantly. Sounds great if you are right, your option rockets. But if you are wrong, the same gamma works against you just as fast. This is why expiry week ATM options are the most dangerous to buy. Maximum gamma and maximum theta both working against you at the same time. Let me show you all four Greeks in a real trade. I recently entered a DLF bull call spread, long the 670 call, short the 700 call, with DLF at 656 rupees. Here is the Greek snapshot at entry. The 670 call had delta 0.45, right in the sweet spot. Theta was minus 2.5 rupees per day, manageable with 27 days to expiry. Vega was 0.12, and with IVP at 71, I used a spread to limit Vega exposure. The short 700 call offset part of the Theta and Vega, reducing my net Greeks. Net delta 0.2, moderately bullish, net Theta minus 1 rupee per day. The spread made the position robust, not just directional, Greek adjusted. This is how you put the theory to work. So how do I use Greeks before every trade? Here is my pre-trade Greek checklist. 1. Delta between 0.3 and 0.45 on the long leg. Sweet spot entry. 2. DTE greater than 12. Avoid theta acceleration in expiry week. 3. IVP below 80. High IVP means options are expensive and Vega exposure is elevated. Use a spread to reduce it. 4. Gamma check. If you are within 7 days of expiry, the game changes completely. Avoid naked long options in expiry week. If all four are green, I tag it high conviction. If anyone fails, I adjust the structure or skip the trade entirely. Greeks are not just theory. They are the reason every option trade works or fails.
That is the four option Greeks, delta, theta, vega, and gamma, explained the way a trader needs to understand them, not textbook formulas, real behavior, real examples, real rules. If you want to see how these Greeks play out on actual trades, the entries I take, the stops I set, the P&L I post, that is exactly what this channel documents. Subscribe and follow along. See you in the next one.